them are more than pals.
Our show can be a little gay,
But if you're not,
that's okay.
you can listen and have fun either way. Xena, Star Wars, Doctor Who, guests and music and reviews. Game of Thrones, Winona too. We promise there's something for you. She nerds out. We're girls that like dirty things. Dirty things.
Hello and welcome to the She Nerds Out podcast. I'm Kat.
I'm Wendy.
And I'm Tara.
On today's episode, we got a mail sack. We're going to finish up our Ask Us Anything questions. And we're going to finally talk about hacks. But first, Wendy.
What day is it? Okay. For National Day, I found that on this website I use, there's like a calendar. And so you can't see what's popping up till you just hover your mouse over the date. So I don't know what I'm going to discover. I thought I'd discover with you.
Fun.
July 26th. Well, National Aunt and Uncle's Day. So if you're aunt or an uncle, it's your day.
All right.
All the parents and all the children of the world.
I'm perpetual Aunt Tara since I don't have any kids. I'm the fun aunt.
You're the fun aunt.
Same.
You're that aunt that they always wondered about.
Yeah.
I didn't share our dresses, Mom.
Crazy aunt.
What else we got? The 27th. Bop. National Take Your Pants for a Walk Day. Okay. Come on,
Interesting.
pants. Let's
When's
go.
National Take Your Pants Off Day?
That's every day.
Mm.
National Milk Chocolate Day is on the 28th.
Nice.
I love a good milk chocolate.
I'm
Chicken-
always a little disappointed when I see chocolate and then it's not milk chocolate.
That's dark.
Some other kind of a chocolate.
Dark is beautiful.
So I can
Love
appreciate the milk.
Okay, well, the 28th is your day. National Tiger Day is on the 29th. Arr,
Hey, tiger.
tiger. That's also when Tara and I drive to Comic-Con. Oh, the 31st is National Mutt Day. So you got a mutt. Probably most people have some mutts as their puppers.
Mm.
Happy
Mutt.
National Mutt Day on the 31st.
Amazing. Okay.
Okay. So those are your
Okay.
days. Celebrate accordingly.
Those are great days.
Pretty decent.
Oh,
Crap.
God.
Oh, no, never mind. I thought I had the wrong month, but I had the right month.
That was just all wrong.
Oh, my goodness.
No, it's good. It's
A
good.
disaster.
It's a good one. All right.
Well, you just mentioned a little bit. You're good. You gals, y'all,
Us.
you're going to Comic-Con.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're recording early this week.
All right.
So we will not have a Comic-Con review this episode, even though this technically is going to be airing after Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Correct.
Who knows what we'll do? There's some fun panels like Black Adam, but you got to pretty much get in line the night before just to get
Right.
into it.
That's all
so I
you're
don't know if
doing
that'll
is
happen.
sitting in line.
I have signed up to do the Severance experience. Like where you go to, I guess, Lumen Industries at some capacity. I don't know. Is it the Hard Rock Hotel? I've never done one of these little walk-through immersive things that they do. So I'm excited to see what that's about.
That's great.
Walk all over the dealer floor. We got a sweet room at the Marriott. So we're right down there in the middle of the action.
Hey, nice. That's so
Yeah.
smart.
You know, it's worth it. You don't have to figure out how to get down there. You can just roll out of bed and take a little stroll, and there you are. It's worth every bit of it because
love
it's not fun trying to get
Makes
there.
a
Yeah.
huge difference. Or if you just like are sick of carrying all your stuff around and, just go take a power nap. So,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume I'm going to give a pre-review and say that it was
Oh.
awesome.
Oh,
That we had a really great time.
okay.
Time of my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The time of your life.
And I'll tell you
That's
why
something.
on the next episode.
Oh, boy. Oh, that's a tease.
Well, now we've got to make that happen somehow. Whoops.
Just hit my microphone with my head.
Oh, it's not good.
That's a new one.
I missed that. That
Yeah.
makes me sad.
Don't worry.
Are you okay?
I'll
Do you
probably
need medical
do it again.
attention?
No, I'm all right.
Okay.
I work at a hospital. Do you need me to take a look?
Can you come over, Tara?
Nah,
Okay.
too lazy for that. You look fine.
Thank you. Oh,
Just
thank
a
you. That's so nice.
Flesh wound.
So I was away this weekend.
Yeah, did you win your tournament?
Guys, I won. I won
Good.
D&D.
Oh, right.
And I just sent you a bunch of pictures of the weekend. So you can see the extravagant location of our
What?
of our
Is it on
Of
my
our-
phone? Sorry,
It's
Disco
on-
knocked my phone down.
It is. Wow. It's a ranch house on what looks to be an actual ranch with a ranch fence and ranch food and a ranch table. And there's a pond with lily pads on it,
Yeah, they're legitimately lily pads with
That is
frogs.
rolling hills.
Amazingly
So
pretty.
It was my D&D retreat every year. My D&D group and I, we rent a house, we get out of town, and we play D&D every minute of the day that we can. And we have lots
Wow.
of food. We
How
always
much do
have
you
a lot of food.
sleep?
You know, we sleep at least we sleep pretty good. We're not getting up crazy early.
Kat was counting on her hand
I
there.
was.
for
I
a
was
second.
like, at least 8 hours. We
And
get
how
good-
much-
good sleep?
How much do you drink?
A lot.
Mm-mm.
There's
And
there's
then,
two
did you
things
do
that have
any-
to happen: cheese
uh-huh.
platters and wine. That's
Ooh,
the
cheese. God,
sustenance.
that sounds good.
It's perfect.
Cheese platter sounds delicious right now. Now, did you do any campfire D&D? Go out
did-
there and
we did not.
Oh, okay.
Is it an elaborate board where you can't move it? You can't.
No, it's just like a map, and you don't
Oh.
even have to have a map, but it's easier if you can see like your little dudes and stuff.
Mhm.
But we did go outside on Saturday. We spent all day playing outside, and then when it got dark,
Oh.
we went inside.
That's nice.
How do you know when you're done? Or is
You
it
mean-
because you have to leave to go home, and whoever's ahead?
Yeah. Does it
Whoever's
ever
ahead.
end?
Well, the campaign ends, right? You're on a you're on a quest. You're going. Oh, you got to go here and talk to this person. Then you got to go do that, and there's a fight. Oh no, goblins. And then you get to the end of the campaign, like, oh, you've resolved it. You've done the thing that you set out to do, hopefully, and then you win.
Okay, so one person eventually wins something, or
Or
does
is it
the
a
best
team
at
that
doing the
wins?
quest?
Again, it's a group thing. It's collaborative.
Oh, okay.
So it's not a competition.
Oh, you just want to win your quest. as a
Yeah, exactly.
group.
But
you
playing
lived?
D&D,
And you died? Did you live the whole way?
you can absolutely die, and so far my character is still alive. I'll
Right.
keep you updated.
What do the people do that die early?
Do they
And
not
they
get
just,
invited
they
back?
just have to sit there and listen to you?
You make a new character.
Oh, so you don't. Okay. Okay.
You don't
Yeah,
ban
and
them
now
from
I
the
see.
cabin.
No, they can stay. Anyway, great. I had a great time. I didn't want to come home. But
I
here I
wouldn't.
am. So there you go. So that's what I was doing. You guys are doing your Comic-Con thing next weekend. So that's why, again, we're recording early. So some
It's
things
easier
might
when
happen that we haven't
could-
talked about because we
Yeah.
don't know.
Remember when we couldn't leave our homes and we were up to date on everything
I know.
because we never left. And now we have plans. And
Minute to minute. And so
Crazy.
as of today, the day we're recording this, one of my panels from EDE is up on YouTube. So you can go
Ooh.
to YouTube. Wendy's having microphone problems too.
because a cat's knocking it over.
The name of that panel that's up is called Sisters Are Doing It for Themselves.
Nice.
So that's up. So go check that out. And you're going to have to turn up the volume because the wireless mic that I was using was
Oh,
not
no.
connected to the board. See,
Oh, no.
They only care about the panelists, right? Why would you need to hear the question that's being
How do they know
asked?
Right.
what you're answering? You gotta hear the question.
Anyway, go and enjoy that. Hopefully you like it. And I Fought the Law panel came out over the weekend as well. So they're slowly, putting those panels out in the world. So enjoy those. And if you like the work that we did, if you enjoy the panels that are coming out, let people know. Let conventions know, because we would all like to do it again.
Yeah.
That's all I got, guys.
Okay.
Shall we move on to the mail sack?
Is that the end of? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yes. There's more. Mail sack.
The show's we still got a couple minutes
I
to
thought that
go.
was it. I thought that was it. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Do you want to explain to people what's happening over there, Wendy?
There's a cat who just wants to be closer to me than he already is. And he's right here. But he keeps trying to walk through my mind. All right, come on. Just go. He just keeps wanting to be right in front of me.
Oh.
This is Tara, and the cat's name is Gizmo. And Gizmo is about 1 year old, and he's deaf. So he doesn't have any concept of, if we're saying no or and he just wants, he says, I can't hear you, so I just want to feel you all the time.
So sweet.
And just be near you. That's how he communicates with his little face.
Very sweet.
Seriously, he could be on one side or the other side, and he's still right here, but he has to be right in front of me, and I have to just move my keyboard out the way.
Gizmo is a foster cat that Wendy is fostering.
If you're interested in Gizmo, good boy.
Great.
I think he needs a home with a male cat playmate. They'll wrestle with him and play with him, because my girls just hit him. They hiss at him, and his own sister seems ambivalent. They used to play, but she's like, bah, I'm over it. He just needs a playmate.
So he's one of the kittens?
Not anymore. He was a kitten.
They're allowed out in the world now?
Well, yeah, they always were. I mean, yeah, they
were separated.
They missed that kitten window of adoption,
Got it. So how many cats do you have in your house right now? Let's do a cat check. Let's go around the table.
Mm-hmm.
Wendy, what do you got?
4. Okay. 2 of my own, and then these 2 little cute little kittens that I fostered in their little pen that now are giant and take over the house.
Yeah, Gizmo's super chunky. He has like a normal size head and like a really fat butt. It's really cute.
All right. Well, if anyone in the LA area wants to adopt 2 really cute, adorable kittens, let us know.
That aren't really kittens anymore.
Cats, young cats.
I've got 2 cats.
Okay.
Pumpkin, he's 17, and Duncan, he's about 11.
Great.
And I had my interview today with the Labrador Retriever Rescue. I have to do an interview before I can even get on the list to adopt one of their dogs. So hopefully I'm approved. We had to do a FaceTime and a tour around the house and look at the backyard and make sure I'm worthy. So,
will they be crazy not to put you on that list, Tara?
No.
The dog would be lucky to have you.
I hope so.
I always say, Tara, you're a great person, but you're better with a dog.
Yeah.
You need a dog. You go on walks and hikes. Mm-hmm. You're active. You want to go do things when you can take your dog.
Yeah, you're a good dog person.
I am better with a dog. It's true.
Well, fingers crossed. Keep us posted.
Okay.
Should we jump into our mail sack?
Let's read some mail.
I think I'm first. This is Tara. I have one from AK, and I will read it now. AK says, "Hey, nerds, you can't do that. This is Wendy." AK still not sure. That's like me starting the email, "Hey, nerds, it's just all wrong." Because that's Beck's thing, right? This is Tara or Wendy. No, why would you do that? Regarding girls with shotguns, evidence on the always hot side. Amy Acker as Root. And is this some kind of... Yeah, I was about to say, Wendy, is this some kind of person of interest? In 5-1 BSOD. Wendy knows.
Yeah, giant gun walking down the street. Of course I do.
Oh, okay.
What do those words and numbers mean?
Season 5, episode... Wait a minute. Yeah, season 5, episode 1, and Root's got like a giant gun. She's like walking down the street, carrying it all like on her shoulder. Yeah, she's badass.
What's BS? What's BSOD?
Blue screen of death, I think is what it stood for. The name of the episode.
Oh, that's the episode. Okay, got it.
Wow.
I know my PO. Of course you do.
Okay. AK continues. Just saw the Andor trailer. Oh, Fiona Shaw.
Right.
For some reason, I'm always surprised when I rediscover she's married to a woman.
What?
Gratified, but not
Did
surprised.
I know this?
Hold on. Time out. Let's Google.
I did know this.
Should we Google? Everyone Google. Breaking news.
Wait, I feel like I did know this, but forgot.
They've only been together for 30 years.
Yeah,
What
I knew that, but
fuck?
forgot.
How did I not know this?
Oh, okay.
This is such
You
good news.
you heard it here first.
Breaking news, everyone.
At least for the first time on our show.
They have
Okay.
3 kids together.
What?
What in the actual? Who is Fiona Shaw's wife? Yes, Google, tell me. Their name is
Wow.
Sonalia. Not going to say that name right. She's from Sri Lanka, so let's just go with the
Cool.
first name. Sonalia, married in 2018.
Okay.
Fiona Shaw. Oh my goodness, this is such great news.
Yes. AK continues. Also, Florence Pugh. What a badass. We are not worthy. I need to go and have a lie down. I think the Terra, formerly known as This Is, may have actually fully broken our weather. Impressive. Heart, AK. It's true. The heat wave continues, I guess, and never really snapped back into place. There is another PS on here.
Of course.
AK says, bless Martina's heart. It's clear she's never met me. She thinks I'm wise and learned. Yeah, no, not so much. But it would have been lovely to meet her and the others. Perhaps we could organize a Snop UK meetup sometime, even if no genuine Snopling can attend.
Do it.
Do it. Love it.
We endorse this idea.
Yeah.
And AK, you are wise and learned.
It's learned,
Come on.
right? I was going to
Yeah.
say,
Learned.
AK sitting back there saying, it's learned, you crazy American.
It's learned. Yeah.
learned.
Perfectly splendid.
I mean, learned. Yeah, you just taught us something very important. That Fiona Shaw
Yeah.
is married to a woman.
Yep.
So
Already wiser than we are
indeed.
Fiona
in
Shaw.
that regard.
By the way,
Mm.
the awesome Fiona Shaw, who was in Killing Eve, I will say, before we go to Comic-Con on Friday, I'm seeing Prima Facie in theaters Thursday night with the becoming legendary ever more by the minute Jodie Comer from Killing Eve in her one-woman play that she did over in England. That apparently
You're seeing that?
yeah, it's on in theaters.
I'm seeing it at UCLA at a screening next weekend.
Oh, really?
Not next weekend. First weekend of August. I'm gonna go see
Really?
it.
Yeah, they're having it in theaters Thursday night, and I wasn't going to go because I thought we were going to Comic-Con early. And then when we weren't
Nice.
leaving until Friday, I said, I'm going to go, and I'm just going to run up to the Universal Studios up right here. So I'm going to be on the front row because that's all they had left.
That's awesome. All right.
I don't
Well,
care. I'm
maybe
very
once-
excited to see it.
Once I've seen it, we can talk about it.
Yes, for
Is that
sure.
cool?
I mean, I keep everything I see about it is like, if it's not amazing, I have very high expectations for this thing.
So let me tell you this. My friend Chalice, listener of this podcast, she's a Zenite. That's how we know each other. She flew to London to see this play specifically. She's a huge Jamie Comer fan. Jodie. Take that again, Kat. Thanks, Kat. Huge Jodie Comer fan. I've been drinking. Huge Jodie Comer fan. And so she flew to London to see the play twice.
Wow.
And she got
Twice?
Jodie to sign. Well, she saw it
Wow.
twice in a row. And
Oh.
she got, you go after the show and
Yeah,
you stand
stage
there.
tour.
And Jodie signed some things for her.
Cool.
So
What did she say about the play? Was it as amazing as?
unbelievable.
That's all I keep hearing. Like I saw people on Twitter today because it was trending because it's coming up on Thursday, and they're like, "Y'all don't even know.
Yeah.
You're all about to see this. You don't even know. It's amazing." So
Something else. So
very excited.
can't wait to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
All right, we'll talk about that later. I know you were seeing it. Okay, we got an email from Beck. It says surprisingly, "Hey nerds."
Hey,
Hey, Beck.
Yeah, it wasn't surprising. Okay, but we love it. How dare you guys even suggest that I am a liar? Stop reading this right now and Google Platty Jubes and see for yourselves. I wish I had more need to say it in day-to-day life. Me too.
I'm really afraid what else might come up when I put in Platty Jubes.
We know what? We have a friend who goes by the name Jube, Joob. I gave her that name. I'm just going to start calling her Platty Jube. That sounds perfectly appropriate. Beck though says, have you guys seen all this fuss over vabbing on TikTok? Oh my gosh, what is this? That's what I'm saying. Beck says, what is happening? If I hear the term, oh god, why'd you make me read this one? Vaginal juices ever again, I'm gonna scream. But does it really work? Is that what I'm doing wrong? Do I need to start wearing my homemade vagina perfume to catch a mate? What is this?
What's
I've
happening?
read enough Omegaverse fanfiction that pheromones work in theory, so maybe it's time to give it a shot. I don't know what that is, and I'm not sure I want to look it up.
Oh, Beck.
Oh, Beck.
Okay, I'm
Yes.
sorry. Can we hold on one second?
We
here?
need to dwell on this for a second. Should I Google it?
First of all, I Googled platy jubes, and in fact, it is how some people refer to the Queen's Jubilee. So we can confirm.
Wait.
that-
Do you mean the Queen's Jubilee or the Queen's Jubilee? You know what I mean? Know what I'm
Hey.
Oh
talking
my
about?
gosh,
You know
they
what I'm saying?
actually spell it
Mhm.
platy Joob sometimes, which is
Oh.
Well, I also
my
see it.
gosh.
I see it several ways. I
Okay.
see it's spelled platy, Platty, or with only one T, and I also see it jubes as Gubes, but also
Wow.
Joob. So there's some contention between these two platy jubes factions.
Actions.
But okay, so first of all, Beck, we apologize for calling you a liar. It just sounded like something that you made up.
Pervy. Something pervy. And I'm not still unconvinced that it's not pervy.
Fair. And then let's move on to this
what? Yes, please.
vaping or vabbing on TikTok. Do you know,
Vabbing.
Terry, you're hip. You're cool. Do you know? Are you on the TikTok? First of all,
I don't have an account, but I do just go and look
You s-
sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. Do you know?
I'm
do you know
not
what Beck's
familiar with
talking about?
vabbing.
I'm afraid to look
I
it
have
up.
seen some disturbing
Oh my gosh,
vaginal
okay.
perfume
Yes.
Uh-oh,
Using
Wendy.
commercials lately.
using
What? Really?
stuff
Yes.
from down there as
From down
perfume.
under, if you will.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Come
As
on.
a perfume.
No, come on.
To attract a mate on their wrists, neck, and behind their ears. They're
Ugh.
stuff that comes from
Oh God.
down in there.
Well, Beck, thanks for introducing us to this.
Oh my God. I'm not even going to read the Urban Dictionary.
Oh no.
What is
No,
this world?
no.
What is happening to this world? Stop.
I mean,
I'm
yeah,
going to put on
Beck.
my old lady bloomers and go off on this.
To answer your question, Beck, do I need to start wearing my homemade vagina perfume to catch a mate? That's really a Beck question. We're not experts, so
I'm going
Right.
to go with no.
You know, yeah, just
But-
keep doing what you're doing for now, Beck. I don't think it's necessary.
Perfume's been around for years.
I don't
Yeah.
think you've
If you need
explored
anything.
the in the backyard of some
Right.
nice young lady's yard, and you're like doing yard work. Like, let's work on that
Right.
before. Let's exhaust that avenue before you start
Before
slathering.
vaginal
think-
juices.
You know
Yeah.
what this is?
Yeah.
This is payback for the poop knife. For
Uh.
us bringing that into the conversation. Well, someone else brought that in the conversation, right? We just
Was it Beck?
maybe. Learning a lot from Beck. Oh my gosh.
Let's
Okay.
Move, let's
well,
move on.
yeah. Okay. Beck goes on to say, I need you guys and everyone in Snopland to hit me up with some good podcast recommendations. Now that I'm
good.
working on my own all day, I fly
Do
through
this.
everything. I did stumble across one that was about the Scorpion song Wind of Change being written by the CIA.
Oh, I've heard
that was
one,
super
actually.
interesting, and I highly recommend that, but I need
Yeah.
help. Do you know what I've started listening to? A podcast about a 7-minute kids show that's target audiences 4 to 7-year-olds. I mean, it's a good show, but I need to listen to a podcast about it. This seems like a step too far, even for me. Love you guys. Mick.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably not great. I've listened to some of Hillary Clinton, and it was really funny. She talked to, what's my...
Kate McKinnon.
McKinnon. That was a fun one. But she talks to a lot of different people. I like her little podcast.
I have some recommendations. Tara, do you have any? Do you listen to any podcasts outside of this one, of course? And my mistake.
I only mainly listen to this one to critique my own voice. And
Ellen
then,
Pompeo. We
but-
listened to a
yeah,
bunch
but-
of hers that day.
Okay, Ellen Pompeo. I really like hers.
All right.
Not that I'm biased, but yeah.
Okay.
She was fun. I listened to it too. She was a
would you
fun
recommend it?
podcaster.
Would
Yeah.
you recommend it to Beck?
If you
All
like
right.
Grey's Anatomy and the people Ellen Pompeo talks to, she was very entertaining. She was very
Yeah.
good.
Great. Well, Beck, I have some recommendations. There's a podcast that I learned about through Casey and Ann of the Why Not podcast. It's called Tig and Cheryl True Story. And it's Tig Notaro and Cheryl Hines from Curb Your Enthusiasm. They watch a documentary every week and then they talk about it. It's a comedy podcast. They rarely talk about the documentary. It's really just those two very funny women talking about stories from their own lives. Beck, I've never laughed so hard listening to a podcast. You have to listen to it. There's almost 100 episodes of it. I'm like halfway through the catalog. I've been listening for 2 weeks. I'm binging my way through their whole show. It's great. Tig and Cheryl, True Story. Check it out. You might like Les Hang Out. We're actually doing a feed swap with them soon. Check them out. You might enjoy that as well. I'm scrolling. Beck, do you like true crime podcast? I don't know if you do. If that is your thing, God, the original Serial, season 1, nothing like it. I go back and re-listen to it every now and then because it's that good. Chameleon is fantastic. Hollywood Con Artist is so good. You might like that one too. I'm trying to think of anything else. I'm scrolling. Do You Need a Ride is pretty good. I don't know if you listen to My Favorite Murder, but one of those hosts, Karen, she has another podcast with a comedian friend, and they literally drive around LA making jokes, having a good time. Do You Need a Ride is really good. Are you a fan of The Office? Office Ladies is fantastic. It's with Jenna and Angela from that show. If you need more, hit me up. Last Podcast on the Left. So good. A lot of occult stuff, a lot of spooky true crime stuff. So many. I'm obsessed with podcasts. It's all I listen to all day. If none of those tickle your fancy, let me know. I'll get you some more. But none. To be clear, none of these have discussed vabbing so far. So if that's really what you're looking for, you're out of luck.
Wow.
Well, someone
Anyway.
did their homework. That was impressive. I
you.
want to check out that Tig Notaro one.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It is
Funny.
so funny, you guys.
Yeah.
Do me a favor. Will you do me a favor next weekend? Look at me. Look.
We
look
can
me
listen
in
to a. Oh yes, go ahead.
Oh
Look
yeah.
me in the eye.
Okay.
Will you please listen? Thank you. Will you please listen to one episode of Tig and Cheryl?
Yeah, we've got
Yeah.
a road trip to San Diego and back. We
exactly
definitely can do it.
when you're driving down to San Diego next
Yeah.
weekend. Please do it. I swear you're gonna laugh your asses off.
Good.
Okay. End
Promise.
of podcast rant.
Okay.
That's a good rant, though. You gave helpful suggestions.
Thank you.
Yeah. Now we've got some snail mail.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, I can't
This
wait
says
to see.
Cat and Tara. I know I have some.
I
You
have
have some
some.
too?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why don't I
okay.
go first?
Okay. All
Okay.
right. What do you got?
So this came to my This doesn't count because this came to my house. So I got a message from Jackie of Jackie and Buster.
Did she mail you Buster?
It is not Buster, thank God, because it's this package. And she said, "Hey, I'm trying to send you something, but they won't deliver to the post office box." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
Illegal contraband?
And I said, "Well, that's weird, but okay, sure. I trust you, Jackie. So here's my address." So Jackie now has my address.
Have you seen any strange vehicles parked outside?
Not yet.
Okay.
No adorable dogs.
With
either.
adorable doggies inside.
Not yet. So this came to my house and it was addressed to me. And I was like, oh, I get stuff delivered to the house all the time. And I didn't know what it was. So I opened it because I didn't know what it was. See, look, I'll show you. This is my name. It came to me. Yeah, I'm not trying to okay, so this is from Jackie. There's no note. There's nothing. So you open this little container. See this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, what is this? I was like, I don't think I ordered this. What could this possibly be? And it is a stack of trading cards.
Ah.
Oh.
Guys, we have our own trading card.
What?
Jackie made us our own trading cards. These are official Topps trading cards, guys.
Wow.
So the front is a picture of the three of us with Kat Burrell. And it says Kat, Wendy, Tara, Kat, She Nerds Out Podcast. And then on the back, it goes into a little more detail. Kat, Wendy, Tara, Kat, She Nerds Out Podcast. world famous designated podcasters, DP. So that is our official title.
Oh.
We are designated podcasters.
Oh, okay.
World famous designated podcasters Kat, Wendy, and Tara with international star and chocolate aficionado Kat Burrell, Herb Division Expo 2022, Anaheim, California. And it's legitimately a top, like, look at all the tops, logos, and everything.
Look at that. What's that little baseball
The
logo?
MLB.
The
Yeah.
MLB logo on the bottom.
Wow.
That is so,
So that's
cool.
us.
Turn
It's
it around.
It's a stack of these. We get to divvy them up. And these are officially collector's items.
Wow.
Well done.
Maybe we'll figure out a way to give them out to. We're gonna definitely keep some.
Well, yeah.
But we should definitely figure out a way to give it out to people. Jackie, this is the coolest fucking thing.
I think one of those definitely we need to get signed by Kat at some point.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
There's never a bad reason to bug Kat Burrell, but
Not that our autographs would be worth something, but you know,
No.
I think Kat Burrell's where it's at.
I mean, can you imagine like how if someone got one of these and then got it signed by Kat? There's not a lot of these around. Like that's a very limited item.
Very niche. Yeah.
Jackie, thank you.
Thank you, Jackie. That's awesome.
So cool.
Well, I also got something mailed to my house because from Suze, who also said that the post office box didn't take.
What's going
Yeah,
on?
like didn't it deliver to it was a parcel, a box.
Right.
Didn't deliver to the PO box. What's that about? Is this Anne?
I think this is an Anne thing.
Is this Anne going?
Our box.
Yeah, I think she's done something to block incoming mail. What the hell?
Is this a block situation? A cock block situation?
I think
yes.
it is.
So that's who I'm
Oh,
blaming
box
for
block.
this.
Blocking her box.
Yeah. So let me get it. I
Open it
I
up.
did open it because
Okay.
it was very well taped. It's international. It's from
Perfect.
Suze in England.
Okay, great.
Hold, please.
Open up that box.
Hold.
This puppy. Look at this.
That is substantial.
Wow.
That is a big box.
All right. Here we go. Let me turn my Zoom here.
Oh, very good. Get
All right.
some, okay. So you've pre-opened it, but you haven't looked at it.
No.
Okay.
Yes and no.
Okay. Copy that.
Okay. I see. Well, first, I see some things. One is a note, which
There's a
I think I
note.
should read. The right on top is some strawberry flavor laces. I think these are English.
Like there was Twizzlers. or something?
Twizzlers, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Love it.
So I'm just gonna go with what's right here on top that I can
Okay.
see, and there's more underneath.
Oh my goodness.
Then we have fizzy bubblegum flavor laces.
Oh, okay.
Bases.
More of these fizzy strawberry flavor lances. Lances. They're
The typo or just a
no.
thing?
These are laces because they're
Okay.
squiggly. These are lances, like a sword.
Like they're
Yeah.
straight. Okay.
Snacks for the
Wow.
road trip.
Wow.
Do
Here
you
we
want to open
have.
the card?
Oh yeah. Well, this is just all right here on top. Yeah,
Okay.
I want to open the card. Okay.
All right, sorry.
Yeah. You know what? Let me do the card. I feel like those were just staring me in the face, and I had had this box staring at me all weekend.
I know.
So
Anxious to open it.
oh my God, look at this. Okay, first it says Cat Hair and Wendy. On the back, it is a seal Harry Potter.
Ooh. Is that a wax
Stamp.
seal? Oh, it's a
That's-
stamp. It's like a sticker stamp.
It's not wax, but you know.
I don't know how they do it over there.
All right.
Yeah, it might be commonplace.
Aww. Picture of a unicorn. Okay.
Aw.
Love
Gonna
it.
read this
That's
very
long
cool letter. Oh wow.
Oh my.
All right. All right. Hey guys, I hope you're all doing well, that you're all unpacked, Wendy and Tara. You're finally recovered from COVID. Thank you for sending Shelby your love. He's a little fighter and is doing remarkably well, considering this is his second major heart failure in 2 years.
Oh boy.
I took him for his first walk today since he got ill, and he loved it. Lots of sniffing and tail wags. Minnie and I wanted to say again how much fun we had with Tara and Martina. Tara's recap of her UK tour was hilarious, though I feel I may need to leave a voicemail at some point to teach you how to pronounce some of our words.
Please do that.
Oh, and I think Tara meant to say Greg's, an iconic British bakery, not Glenn's. That is so true. And my friend in Scotland also corrected me. And that was her one note. She was like, yeah, the podcast was great, but it's Greg's, not Glenn's. So
You
yes,
said
I
Glenn's
did.
so many times.
I did say Glenn's, and I was so sure of myself, but it's definitely Greg's. And now that I think, I mean, it's all coming back to me. It's definitely Greg's.
So it's like a bakery where you can get sandwiches?
Yeah, it's like
It sounds
yeah,
so
it's
good.
like a more delicious Subway. It's
Oh,
kind of
man.
like what I think remember Quiznos being, but they're not here anymore. But it was more like that.
All
I don't know.
In my
Like a
mind,
more
it's a lot
hot
nicer
sandwich.
than Quiznos.
More hot sandwich type. Like they'll heat your sandwich up.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
It's Greg's. Okay. It's not Glenn's, unless that's a Scottish version I don't know about. Nope, not. I was corrected by a Scottish person as well. So nope, I was just very wrong.
Got it.
Oh, Tara, we sent you a York Pride flag.
Oh,
okay. I haven't gotten to that yet.
You
It
said you
turns-
wanted one of those.
I did. It turns out it was really easy to get one. Honestly, I think we were walking around in such a haze that day. Yeah. That was like we were walking around, and like I said, York Pride had just happened. So everything was rainbow, and I kept seeing these York Pride flags. Yeah, so I'm so excited. And we were like, how could we possibly get one? But I don't think we were in our hungover state able to comprehend that. Suze continues, it would be awesome if you could do a full Snop crew tour. And if so, please come back to York. We realized we didn't even take you to the Cat Cafe or the only LGBTQ plus place in the whole of York, the Luna
Whoa.
Cafe. Whoa.
Okay.
I'm going to blame that on the hangover as well.
Yeah.
We've also sent you guys some British red licorice, so you can try it against their Aussie and American counterparts, plus some classic pub crisps for Tara's Pub.
Nice.
Enjoy and keep nerding out. Love, Sue, Minnie, and Shelby. P.S.
Aw.
Minnie thought of a name option for Tara's Pub. The She Nerds Inn. Oh,
Wow.
that's so good. INN.
That's pretty
Oh my-
good.
Minnie, you're brilliant.
Minnie.
How do we not think of that? That is so good.
Oh my God.
I love it so much.
Wow. Okay.
So sweet.
That's
Suze.
settled.
There's so much good stuff going on in that box right now.
So let me,
That's amazing.
let me get through here. So, okay. So now we have there are so many options of licorice for us to try. We have the
Amazing.
strawberry flavor flyers.
Okay.
The magic's in the middle.
Ooh. Okay. What's in the middle?
Okay.
Yeah.
Strawberry flavor candy with strawberry flavored crystal centers. Okay.
Ooh, crispy centers.
Mm.
Interesting.
Crystals.
hungry.
Not as crystal.
Crystals.
Okay. Then
That
we
is
have
magic.
this.
What the? Oh,
This
this is a
must
crisp.
be.
Oh, it's like
the
a
pub
display
crisps.
thing that you would find in a
Yeah.
pub.
Oh,
That's adorable.
bacon flavor fries.
Whoa.
Bring them. Bring them.
I'd like a bag of that, please. Can I
Well,
put it in
there
an
are
order?
plenty. There's about 30 of them in here.
We're gonna have to have a whole day of tasting all this stuff.
York Pride flag.
Yay!
Opening.
There it is.
Ugh.
There it is.
And a nice York Pride bracelet.
Oh,
Look at that.
fancy.
Nice.
All right. I don't know what the English. You know what the English national anthem is like? Is it my country? Like my country.
think so.
Yeah.
God
Save
It's
the
something
Queen.
like God Save the Queen. Yeah, but it's to the same tune. So here we go.
Because we're not that creative, it turns out.
York Pride.
That is so
Whoop,
cool.
whoop, whoop.
Nice.
I love it.
Ooh,
Nope,
upside down.
that's Upside down.
Other way.
York.
Fancy.
So what is
That's a
that?
big flag.
What is that building? Do you imagine, Tara? Is that a
This is
significant
the-
piece of architecture?
The Minster, right here.
Ah.
That was all over. I don't know what this one is
All right. Cool.
or this one,
Okay.
but
Great.
I feel like maybe I do, but I'm just not. But this is definitely the Minster.
It's beautiful. I love it so much.
Very big. Yeah. awesome. So much
Suze.
fun.
Oh, watch out.
Okay.
I feel like we have to do an in-person just to taste all this food that we've
Yeah.
gotten recently.
Yeah.
We have to do an in-person.
Okay.
Do it.
I
Amazing.
can set a goal for that.
That'd be great.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
Thank you,
So many
Suze.
presents and
Isn't that
layers and
awesome.
It's even on Harry Potter. You can't see it, but I'll do it close up. It's on like the background is Harry Potter. You see that?
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it's the
Nice.
Gryffindor,
The Hogwarts.
Hogwarts
See,
logo. Yeah,
Crest. Yeah. Cool.
I love it. It's so cool.
I can't
so
wait to
on
try some
brand.
The
snacks.
she nerds in. Well,
It's pretty
come
good.
on, Minnie
Pretty good
for the win.
for the win.
Okay.
We have some pretty great listeners.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be like, have like some sort of competition here, but our listeners are pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wish I lived about 5,000 miles closer.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, one day maybe we can all go and do an actual tour. I mean, God, that would be so good.
Okay.
That would be amazing.
Well, Sue's Minnie,
Pod goals.
whenever you are here in the States, I will have these items in the pod pub and you're welcome to come hang out.
Amazing.
I'd love that. Sitting in a pub eating some snacks
Some crisps.
Some crisps.
and some laces and some lances.
Well, speaking of our listeners and how great they are, should we? We only got maybe halfway through the questions that we got last week for our
Those are
Ask
good
Us Anything.
questions.
Should we finish up the questions that we didn't get to last time?
Let's
Yeah.
do.
do
Time
it.
permitting, because our last episode was like 2 hours long, right?
Yeah, just about. Very close.
Well, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
You want to start with the Twitter question?
Yeah, please.
From Drisa, we have the question: what did you want to be when you were kids, and how does that compare to what you actually do / enjoy today? I'll go first because you know what? I remember one time I was lying in my bed watching my little black and white TV thinking, man, I wish I could just get paid to watch TV. And I kind of do. Sometimes I push buttons to make the TV, but I literally am surrounded by TV. It's news, which isn't that fun, but it's still TV. I get paid for TV, so that's cool. I wanted to be an actress too, but that was never.
But you were, Wendy, you were.
That's right.
You were the body double of that person on Walker, Texas Ranger.
I wasn't technically the body. I was the stand-in.
The
Which
stand-in.
meant I had blonde hair and was of similar height. But at one time, they did dress me up in her clothes and put a mole on my face like she had, only to shoot a very long distance shot of me riding in a Jeep with, I think it was Chuck Norris's son on Walk on Texas Ranger. And we were just like driving through the woods and they were shooting. Like you couldn't even see me, but they made sure to put her fake mole on me.
What was her name?
Cherie J. Wilson
That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
from Walker. So yeah, it was my
Nice
career.
job.
Mhm.
There you are. Here you are now.
Yeah. Way to go. Yeah.
So what about y'all?
Cat.
Did you just
me to go?
talk into a microphone
Sure.
when you were young and want to be a podcaster?
That's all I did. I mean, I wanted to work in the entertainment business. I thought maybe I'd be a comedian, but it didn't work out.
That's funny. You are funny. No, I'm just kidding. You are funny.
But no, I wanted to. Okay, I wanted to be an astronaut, and I was like, oh, there's like math and stuff. I'm like, nah, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I want to work in the business, and turns out that's what I do.
What's the first thing you did in the business?
I was a PA. I was 16 years old.
Wow.
My brother got a gig. He's an electrician, and it was for a little small local commercial in Camarillo. It was a gas station commercial,
Oh.
and I was a PA for a gas station. And then the next day, it was a weekend, so the next day we did a barbecues galore commercial.
Whoa.
And yeah, I was a PA for that too.
Nice.
Nice.
Jealous.
Yeah. Barbecues galore. They're still around.
I know it. Yeah.
You were part of that. You built that.
I built the
You should get
empire.
residuals.
No, I do not. What about you, Tara?
Did you like the game Operation as a child?
No.
Became administrative.
Administrative. Did you play Office when you were little?
No. I wanted to be a police officer, and my major in college is criminology and criminal justice. And I actually moved to LA after I graduated to be on the LAPD. And my friend was on the fire department that lived here and said, "Oh, you should come out." Yeah, this was in 2009. They're doing sign-on bonuses, 10 grand, and hiring all these folks. So by the time I got around to moving out here, the city of LA had gone bankrupt.
Oh dear.
Big thing. Yeah. So they, obviously cut the sign-on bonuses, cut the workforce by 20%. So I went through the whole process. It took a year. So during that time, it just got worse. And so, they did the whole thing. I had a private investigator. Halfway through my private investigator got laid off. So then I was put with someone else. So I did I did the whole physical test where you go, you climb the wall, you drag the dummy. I was in the LAPD training academy, where it's like the pre-academy to the academy that you can do while you're in the process. If you're far enough along. And got to a certain point. We're going through to the last point, and then was basically told they used to do 2 training academies a month, and they had cut it down at that point to 3 a year. And so I was told, unless, you learn a very specific language or have a lot of military experience, you basically, we can't tell you when you might even be picked, and if ever. And so I was put on a waiting list of about 400 plus people at that time. And they're like, we don't know. People are just going to keep basically jumping over you that have this very specific things that we need.
Right.
So that didn't work out. So in the meantime, I had to get, another job. And in college, I had been a medical assistant. So I went during this year that I was still applying and got a temp job at the hospital that I eventually got hired at and spent 7 years at because I loved it, and kind of went up the ranks there and ended up doing what I'm doing now, and patient experience, and just never looked back. And, thought, and when I lived here in LA for a longer period of time and really got to know all the nuances of LA and just policing in general, like the real day-to-day bureaucracy of it, thought, I think I'm in a better place, better suited for me. And I still get to help people, which is ultimately what I wanted to do.
Awesome.
I mean, I don't get the sexy uniform, but, at least not in public. So, just wear it around the house.
I was definitely going to make some sort of uniform joke. So you beat me to it. Nice job.
But, but I love what I do. So, but no, I didn't sit around, I didn't watch Grey's Anatomy at that time. Maybe if I had started watching Grey's Anatomy.
Probably,
2005.
I guess it was.
Of course it was.
I was still
It's been on for 100 years.
So, maybe I would have known ahead of time when,
Well, Teresa continues.
Okay, that was just part one. Part one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a couple quick questions.
Great.
Do you do majority vote for large decisions, or do things need to be unanimous to happen? I think Kat just decides, but we have input.
No. There's never. I don't think there's ever been.
This is Tara. We bring up ideas before Kat, and she says either that's great or that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Like in Gladiator, she holds up her thumb. And
That's not true. This is
like
all
this,
lies.
and it goes up or down. And if it goes down, you have to hope. I think it's actually up meant. I don't know, but the floor opens out from under you, and you fall into the rancor pit.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I want to be completely honest with you, Teresa. There hasn't been a big decision that we haven't all agreed on.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think so.
It took us like an evening or so. We were when we first started the podcast, before we recorded 1 minute of content, we were trying to think of the name of this podcast, and we spent all night basically drinking and trying to think of names and Googling. Oh, is this
and Googling?
Right. It was kind of came. I don't know what our other ideas, but a lot of it was just like which one's not taken.
Yeah, and then one of you came up with She Nerds Out, and all the other two of us were just like, that's it. Like, that's the name. Like, there's never been a thing. I can't think of a decision where we've had a split vote.
No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Why it works so well. On a related note, Teresa's last question. What did you think the pod would be at launch, and how does that compare now? I kind of thought it would be this. Us talking about all these things that we just all love. I didn't know if people would listen, because I thought, who's listening to me?
Right. I didn't think, and I didn't see the listener participation as much as it is.
That's exactly
which I love. I mean, I just didn't even think it would get, that we would get that much response, but I mean, that's my favorite part.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, from when we first thought of the idea to now, the actual show is what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But you're right. The part that I didn't even imagine was that we'd have such incredible feedback and such awesome listeners. That is, as you say, Tara, the best part of doing this podcast.
I think one of the hardest parts for me is thinking of, when the shows that we want to talk about, they're all on at different times, and how difficult it is to say, okay, when are we going to do a deep dive into an episode? Because that could take an entire episode. And it's kind of like, well, if a lot of people aren't watching that, or, it's kind of a balance between, you don't want to spoil it for people that aren't watching it, but you also want to try to stay current with it. And so you kind of making it more of a variety, right? Kind of having to pick and choose for that reason.
That's
so
true.
I think that was harder for me. I think because a lot of our first episodes, we really did take more time to do like deep dives into specific episodes of things.
Yeah, like Xena, we did that a bunch.
Right. But yeah, that was.
And honestly, like, we all the time we hear like, oh, I actually don't watch Winona, or I've never seen Xena. Like, we talk about all this different stuff, but people still hang in there, even if there's stuff that they're not interested in. So that's awesome. Like, that's a big deal that we're not like completely turning people off by all the different things we talk about, because we do. We between the three of us, we cover a lot of fandom stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. Like, we sprinkle in different stuff all the time, and I don't know. We have the best listeners. Have I said that yet?
Yeah, and they're just the best people,
They are.
So,
and send us candy and gifts.
Drisa read steamy fanfic with me at our San Diego meetup last year.
That's right.
How awesome is that?
Pretty great.
And I have to Winona update
Please.
for Martina. I have heard that
yes.
Martina is really enjoying it, because after, Suze and Minnie and I were talking about it so much, and I think she's on at least season 3 now, just kind of blowing through it. So
amazing. Great.
Spoiler alert, Martina.
Keep it up, Martina.
We're still waiting for season 5.
Yeah. I'm sure she's figured that out. We got an email from Heidi. If you know Heidi on Twitter, she's a big log rolling fan.
Woo.
Heidi writes, "Hey there, Snop. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. Who amongst you would win a log rolling match and why?" She says, "Just kidding," but she said, "Just
Not
kidding."
me. I got bad
Is
news.
this a possible new way to settle podcord disputes? If I had to guess who would win, I'm going to say Tara.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I have terrible balance, and I would fall down and hurt myself. Have you seen? Do you know Heidi on the Twitter?
No.
She has posted some log. She is a log rolling enthusiast, and she does it, and she does it well. So if you need a coach,
I gotta look. That shit's hard.
It is
That
hard.
takes so much core strength and balance.
Incredible. Yeah, Heidi does it, and she does it well.
What?
Her real question is, what is your favorite score / soundtrack for a science fiction fantasy thing? That is an excellent question. And she gets into some kind of specific details stuff like John Williams' iconic work owns my childhood's heart. Yes, that's so true. She's a fan of Game of Thrones.
No, look, let's get
yeah, that's
specific.
such a good
Ramin Djawadi. Light of the Seven, where Cersei like blows up the thing. In fact, I just downloaded it because when I read this email today, I listened to it, and it's such a beautiful piece of music, and I love it. Ramin also did the score for Person of Interest, which obviously I love.
Okay.
He also does Westworld. I heard a little bit of Westworldness in Light of the Seven when I was listening to it.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Obviously, if you're going for genre sci-fi kind of score, I mean, it has to, like with my favorite films, all of Star Wars. Just put that up at the top, led by The Empire Strikes Back, Vader Imperial March.
Oh, I mean, it's an iconic piece of music.
As iconic as it gets. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, John Williams, as she says, like, you know, she says, John Williams's iconic work owns my childhood heart for ages for all the obvious reasons. Star Wars, Jurassic Park.
Same,
oh yeah,
my
so
favorite
good.
main theme, Superman, Close Encounters, E.T. I mean, all the things. Schindler's List, even. I mean, just
All the
come
things.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's the
Raiders.
he comes to mind for me. So I can't, you know, Harry Potter, all that.
Oh, yeah.
All that score is super great. Like, I
John
don't know.
Williams is one of my most listened to Spotify stations because I mean it's mostly him, and then it throws in some similar ones.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and for me, other than that, this is Tara. I really love Harry Gregson Williams and the Chronicles of Narnia, the first movie soundtrack. I love,
Nice.
and any of the Firefly and Serenity soundtracks.
Oh, cool. Nice.
The scores and any of that music I really love. The movie and TV show have two different composers, but I love
Gotcha.
both. So
Um,
I love anything with a fiddle, a good throwing in a good fiddle, in there. I think it really adds a little something for me.
Lord of the Rings has great music.
Oh yeah, Lord of the
Howard
Rings,
Shore.
so good.
Howard Shore. There you go. Wow, Wendy, you know your composers.
I know I do some of them. Yes.
So yeah, there's obviously too many to really pick, but I think John Williams is top of my list for sure.
Well, let me also throw down. If you've never listened to How to Train Your Dragon, John Powell, who also did Solo.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Especially the first one. It is, I've listened to that so much. If you're out wanting to get motivated, throw that in.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was not, look, it's a movie called How to Train Your Dragon.
Right.
And the score was nominated for an Oscar that year. How good must a score for How to Train Your Dragon be to make it into the Academy Award nominations for Best Score? Also classics like Contact. I love the score for Contact. And then there's non-sci-fi. Rudy, Glory. I mean, I've got a lot of soundtracks and I adore them. But yeah, Spielberg is number one Williams when it comes to
Pretty
genre.
much Spielberg. Spielberg adjacent.
Yeah.
Always connected.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Michael Giacchino, another one of my favorite. Lost, Rogue One, a lot of Disney stuff like Pixar, the original like Star Trek movie. I don't know if he did the other two with Chris Pine. So oh my God, I love scores. So good. Too many to list.
There's a lot of good ones out there.
Yeah. Here's a fun. Oh, speaking of favorite genres theme songs, Marissa A.R. asked who wrote your theme song.
Oh, that's an easy answer.
Oh, who wrote your? Okay, I get it.
That means you.
That was me. This is Tara. I did. Not to brag, but I'm pretty sure I came up with the name of this podcast too. You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably did.
Way to be cool about it. Tara.
I did.
Way to be humble.
Hashtag be humble. I wrote the song and then I did the guitar and Wendy sang all the hard parts. And then I just say, I have my 4-note range right in the wheelhouse. So I made sure I pick chords right in there,
When you immediately had an idea, I remember like I left your place that night and you're like, yeah, I think we'll record our own theme song. And you're like, yeah, I already have something in mind. So like, I feel like very early on you were creating the theme song.
Yeah, they say the greatest musicians, like when you're songwriting,
we should probably just move on.
just the words just flow right out of you, and they
All right, Next, move on.
You know, like you just could sit down, like Dolly Parton. Like I'm sure she knows how I feel.
Okay.
Like, you know,
All
she sat down and she
right.
wrote like Jolene and what was like, I'll
Mhm.
always love you in the same day. So I feel like that's kind of how I felt when I
What else
wrote
did
that
you write that
song.
day?
Good question.
This masterpiece counts as 2. So, yeah.
I have a question. Now
Do
this is from Hildy. I don't think we asked this last time.
No. we didn't.
And there's a bit of an overlap here. And she asks, if you could only watch one movie and one TV show for the rest of your life, what would you pick? And then she says, keep on nerding. I'll be listening, Hildy. And then she sent a picture of her and her kids, I would guess, on a fjord.
That looks fun.
Doing some stand-up paddle boarding. Beautiful as
I like a
always,
good
Hildy.
fjord.
Hildy continues to harass us with her beautiful location. One movie and TV show for the rest of your life. What would you pick? Does anything jump to... Again, no one's going to hold you to this.
I know you're really not forced to just. I'm glad we don't ever have these like real
Right.
decisions we have to make.
Right.
Obviously, film. I'm going Empire.
Okay. Okay.
That's the one that's my very top of the list ever. Empire Strikes Back.
I'm going to say, because once again, this movie was on yesterday and I see it all the time on, but every time I stop what I'm doing and I go watch it. So I'm just going to say this. I don't know if it was sci-fi specific, but I'm going to go with Pitch Perfect.
Oh,
Nice.
Pitch
Okay.
Perfect.
I think I said last week, like if you're on a desert island, which I think I picked Serenity or Firefly, but
Firefly.
I mean, if we're just, I'm going to switch it up.
Yeah, and I think I'll say Princess Bride.
Really?
A perfect movie.
Really?
It's got everything. Laughs, adventure,
I saw someone
Romance.
tweet.
romance.
I think it was someone on Twitter said they finally watched it, and then she just wrote, "I get it. Now I get it."
I understand completely.
Yeah, that's film. TV show. I mean, I guess I
Rest
gotta
of your
stick with
life.
POI. The nice thing is, as much as like my favorite parts of POI aren't through most of like the first couple seasons, but I still like the show in its early incarnation as well. And it's it's got such a different feel at the beginning than it does at the end. It's kind of like it feels like a new show when you start it over. So
That's
I
fine.
gotta pick one. Sure.
I'll go Winona Earp.
Oh well, I thought you were taking
Ooh,
X-Files
okay.
Desert
I
Island,
know.
but you're picking Winona
I'm going
for
Winona.
life, huh?
Yeah.
A lifer.
It's got everything. Laughs,
Yeah.
adventure,
A little sexiness.
romance.
Romance.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of
Longevity.
number of episodes, I'm not going to say Grey's Anatomy because I think
Okay.
I need something a little more lighthearted if this is
Okay.
going to be it for the rest of my life.
All right.
I'm going to go with Parks and Rec
Oh, that's a good answer.
Okay.
or
Okay.
Community. Because both
Interesting.
of those shows, there's so many. First, they're pretty nerdy and I love them. Lots of pop culture references in
stuff.
there. Yeah. There's so many jokes. I laughed so many times and I've seen it so many times through already. And I just am cracking up whenever I see a random episode on because you can't possibly remember all of the things. And there's so many little nuances that you notice, you know, even just the look on Leslie's face during some of these things just crack me up. So I think
Let's say you can
I
take
think
two.
Leslie will give me the will to keep on going, you know, like
You can
with
have
a
your
positive-
Firefly and your Parks and Rec. You get a drama and a comedy.
Oh, that's nice.
Maybe
Let's-
then I pick like Winona and Parks and Rec, you know, because then I can
Oh.
get the lady love and
That's true.
I don't know what I pick. Maybe Wings. Wings for a comedy, maybe.
Really?
I love Wings. Oh, I went to Nantucket because of Wings.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
I mean, The Office.
Roseanne.
You can't beat The Office.
yeah, same vibe.
I never get tired of that. Exactly. I never get tired of that show. All right.
So good.
Well, now we know what we're stuck with the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
If it
There we
comes
go.
down to that.
Not bad. Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. Well, okay. I got a few more little Twitter questions.
Okay.
When are we planning our U.S. podcast live tour?
Great question.
That is a good question.
We've kind of, should we hint about? We kind of talked about it. Like, what if we do want to do a live show somewhere? We kind of talked about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably be in LA.
Well,
And-
yeah.
That's not quite a U.S. tour, I wouldn't say.
I know, but I don't think we're gonna make draw as many listeners somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Right.
don't know. If
Oh, by the way,
someone-
that was from Aaron McGonigal.
Yes,
McGonagall.
Forgot
Aaron.
to introduce that.
McGonagall. Aaron, here's a question to the listeners and to Aaron. If let's say we had a live show in LA and we set a date like a year ahead of time so people could like make travel plans, would you come out to see our show?
Yes.
Let us-
check
let
yes
us
or
know.
no. Now, if we were, I think it would maybe, they Herb Division Expo put out a little thing like, hey, if you're in New York a year from now,
That's
maybe
true.
come see us. Maybe if something comes up like that, we could kind of like plan it. Maybe a place where folks are already kind of congregating.
Right.
I mean, no, we had a panel, but maybe we make it like a separate thing. I don't know. Yeah.
So you're saying New York for EDE in just like a year? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, in July. They've
Here's my
announced
question:
it.
will Leah Michelle still be in Funny Girl at that time? 'Cause I'm totally in if she is, and Tova Feltza.
That's the only way you'd be in, Wendy.
I'd still go, but I'd be really excited if she's still on Broadway doing Funny Girl.
It's really hard to know, Wendy.
I know.
Yeah, we can't guarantee that for you.
All right.
Sure.
Well, let us know. Feedback. What do you think? Let us know. You have another question, Wendy?
A few more, just real
Great.
quick ones.
Let's
From Erper Girl 67. Are you ever going to watch Desert Hearts?
Yeah, we will. Because Cynthia sent us the DVD.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? While I was gone, my wife set up the outdoor projector and screen.
What? All right.
So I guess we have a Desert Heart screening in our future, guys.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
We'll do it this summer. How about that? We will
How about
watch
when
it
it's-
this summer.
Well, when it's not
Okay. When
100
it's not.
degrees out. Yeah.
We'll watch it in the fall.
Yeah.
What's in the fall?
And
Jackie's
that's true.
question.
It'll get darker sooner. You're right. Fall's
All
better.
right. True.
Okay, go.
True.
Sorry.
Good point. Jackie questions your evaluation of Mexican food or restaurants, Tara, because clearly it's better in Edinburgh, Texas, than
As she should.
as she should.
You guys don't know until you
You're
know,
right.
till you
We
go
don't.
there.
I
and you
would love
know.
to go find out.
You're right. We don't know. We don't know.
Marissa AR says, "Where's my free cat sticker?"
Good question. We need some free cat merch, guys. Can we make that happen?
Okay. Here's two similar questions.
Wendy's so
Wow.
excited about it.
We'll have to draw that up.
Okay.
I picture like a little you behind bars or something.
Or just like my hair in like one of those like. Oh no, yeah, my hair behind bars.
We'll draw
Working
that up.
noted.
It's a work in
Sketch it up.
progress.
Yep. Okay, so here's similar. Well, here's one from Upper Girl 67. Does anyone there like Grey's Anatomy?
Oh, I feel like that's sarcasm.
I feel like it is too.
I think so.
Also, in the sarcasm category, we have one more from Lee, the one who, and it says, "Do one of you work at a hospital or something?"
Oh, Lee, cut it out.
Now. I feel
Saving the
like they're
hard-hitting
trying to say I
questions for
talk
the end.
about these things too much, but you know what? I'm fine.
Yeah,
Fine
maybe
with
you
it.
should talk about it more, Tara.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure no one wrote to ask if I liked person of interest, so you should look at yourself.
Take
Hospital
a hard
worker.
look. Yeah.
Thanks,
the end of-
listeners. It's fun to
That's
talk
it.
about ourselves.
We love it.
That's why we started this
We
whole thing.
we got some great questions. That was great.
Yeah.
That was
We'll-
fun.
We'll do that again sometime.
And our intros we're allowed to change them at any time.
100%. And then we got a couple ideas for actual segments. Like we're gonna do a new top 5 TV show. So yeah, thanks for the content, listeners.
Right on.
Right on. I mean, listen. Should we talk about hacks?
You know, it's been over for a while, so
It's probably
yeah.
time.
Let's talk some hacks.
Let's hack it up.
Let me tell you. Let's take it back a little bit. Remember when the
Okay.
trailer came out and it was like,
Yes.
make your own kind of music. And it was like, oh, what a fun trailer. I'm like, oh, that song, it just reminds me of Lost. I just can't even
Aw.
think about it. Now I hear that song, I'm like, oh, hacks. I mean, I still think of Lost too, but I really liked this season. I think the ending nailed it for me. Look, I mean, it was like Deborah and what's her name, Ava, out on the
Ava.
road working
Yep.
on her new act after she gets motivated by her daughter's MMA boyfriend and is, like ready to go. And this is, it's been a while since I watched it, so I'm going off my memory, but it's it was just like fun adventures on the road as they like the whole thing. I'm glad that the whole deal it ended the year before where she sent all those scathing factoids on Deborah to the TV producer and tried to walk that back and not able to do it. And I'm glad they didn't like dwell on that all season.
Yeah.
Like that being a thing that was gonna pop up between them. It's like it got out in the open, it was dealt with, and Deborah's like, oh yeah, I forgive you. I'm gonna see you, but I forgive you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just the scene, there was a scene where they went to get, it's like, oh no, come on, let's go get some dinner or lunch or whatever it was. And then had her read everything she sent to the producers about Deborah out loud at the restaurant.
That was brutal.
It was so beautifully. I mean, it was beautiful and funny and awkward how she's reading it. At first, Deborah's like, yeah, I did that because, yeah, of course I did. And then as it gets more cutting and more deep and personal, it was so brutal. And she's like, please don't make me read this. And it was so good.
Yes, very good.
You had freaking Laurie Metcalf showing up, Ming-Na Wen.
Laurie Metcalf played Weeds.
And also, honestly, kind of
Campaign
remind me
tour
of Jackie
manager.
as a bus driver, but
Yeah, a little bit.
on the Connors.
A little more. What would you say?
I don't even know. I love
don't
Laura
even
Metcalf,
know.
whatever she does.
Weeds was very funny.
They, and it was kind of, and then they went on a lesbian cruise.
Oh
which
my
yeah.
God.
That was
funny.
brutal
She's like,
too,
I love
man.
this. I did. Well, first she's mortified that it's lesbians, not gay men. And then she's like, they love me. And then she goes too far and they all hate her and they basically kick her off the boat.
She really manages.
Right
to
when
offend
Ava's
them.
about to get lucky. And,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ava's having the time of her life.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's finally somewhere she can enjoy.
Yeah.
It's such a great the beginning of the episode. There's a Margaret Cho cameo,
Oh, yeah.
and that's how she finds out that it's a lesbian cruise. And so she's like, "Yeah, it's a gay cruise. It's lesbians." And cut to Deborah as the ship. Oh, it's like this great piece of editing that really set the tone for the episode. It was a great episode.
Yeah.
So funny.
I feel like I'm still not like her agent, which I came to like I liked Agent Fine. I'm just tired of his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
I like Jimmy. Kind of tired of I don't
What's her
even
name?
know what her name is.
Yeah, she's not going anywhere.
I know. But I'm like,
I mean,
whatever.
she kind of came through in the end.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Just
I
one,
think
but one storyline focused on her was just too much in that one episode. It was
Yeah.
like, there's too much of her. You
Yeah.
know,
It's just
dial
the
it
less
back.
the better.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
the less the better. But yeah, Jimmy, I loved, he ended up getting fired because he stood up for Deborah, and then they're recording her comedy like she finally I guess finds her thing, like to that where she feels it. I forget how they described it, but you just know it. You just feel the audience. You feel that you've got it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of what she sort of turned some of her like scathingness back on herself. And
Right.
Right. She had been playing the victim, but now
Right.
she's going to take that responsibility of,
right. And it was, they get a down and out female director who, nobody else wants to use. They want like the new hot guys who are directing. And so it's like Jimmy's fired and they get this older lady director nobody wants. And you're like, oh my God, she's going to ruin it. I just have all these morbid ideas of how this is going to go down. And actually, I think I'd seen a reaction online about being devastated. And I'm like, oh my God, something's going to go wrong. And they're recording it. It's like the director's going to mess it up. And then Jimmy, when the guy dies at the recording and he walks in with this look of like, oh my God. And then she's like, he's okay. And then she keeps going like, that's going to come back to haunt them. And I just had all these horrible thoughts of how it was going to end horribly.
It's kind of all set up with Ming-Na when she's been really, her character has been going after Jimmy and his clients since Jimmy screwed her out of a house or like a home buying situation. So she's coming in hot, and she shows up at the final recording where Deborah is shooting her special, and basically tries to take Deborah as a client and says, Jimmy's not cutthroat enough for you, and look what I can do for you, and you should come over to the dark side, essentially. And Deborah is definitely considering it. 'Cause she's kind of, I can't remember, she kind of had it at that point, or she was just feeling kind of
I think Jimmy, she
What
was
had happened?
frustrated because he had quit, and
she didn't. He didn't really explain the whole story. Like I
No.
feel like she didn't. He absorbs so much so that she
Yeah.
doesn't get.
yeah,
She doesn't know all the bullshit behind it. But like, yeah, he fell on his knife for her, and she was still really pissed about him getting fired or quitting, I guess, from
Right.
the agency.
Well, I think he had originally promised to help her get a venue, like the Nokia Theater,
oh yeah, and then
with
he
his
lost that
contacts.
access.
Yeah,
Right.
right. And then he quit, and she's like, "What the fuck? How am I?
Of course,
what am I going to
he
do?"
Quit because they wanted to basically like get rid of her as a client. So
Right.
Jimmy's the hero of the story.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I read somewhere like, did she know that the guy really died or not? And someone's like, oh yeah, she knew. Like she saw his face, and so she knew. And she, as for professional that she is, continues on with her act. And I think they said that like that's probably when she was like, all right, this guy, he's here for me, and she decided to stick with Jimmy.
Sticking with Jimmy.
Sticking with Jimmy.
By the way, let me interrupt you by saying Susie Essman plays that director, that down act director. She's been a stand-up since the 80s.
Really?
Like, this woman has, I mean, you can imagine being a female stand-up comic on the road in the 80s. She's got some stories. But she's been around, and she's been on Curb Your Enthusiasm. She's very funny. So it was great to see her in a show about a female stand-up comic. It was very cool. Nice bit of casting there.
That is, yeah, I had no idea. One of the other people along the way, Deborah meets up with an old comedy circuit pal, Susan,
Right.
which I kept thinking, I've seen this lady, and her name is Harriet Sansom Harris. And Kat, I don't know if you'll remember her. Remember the X-Files episode way back when where they take those little twin girls and they're escorting and they're clones, and she was the grown-up
Eve.
one, Eve. But she was also on Frasier, which is also where I remembered her. But I was like,
She's
that's who that
Eve?
is. It was great to see her.
Good spotting. Wow. She looked familiar, but I could not
Yeah.
tell you from what. That's awesome. That's
And-
such a creepy episode.
Oh, she's so great. I've always liked her and whatever she's done, but one of those character actors that's all over the place. And like Deborah always, she felt guilty because she like they had put the names up of the people who could go on like the college comedy tour or something. And she was on it, and Deborah just erased her name. And she's like, it's because of me that she's just got this life in this podunk town and takes
Sad life.
fair, and it's my fault. And she's like, you think that's why I got out of comedy? But then Deborah, like they're shooting the little balloons, and she's like, I'm just gonna let the kids win. And then as they get going, Deborah's like, nope, I can't. And so she has to win the balloon in the little game, and she's like,
Can't
she
help
just
it.
can't not be competitive. And it's like, I might feel bad about what I did, but I'd probably still do it again because that's who I am.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel like there were so many greats between, the lawsuit thing and just Ava and Deborah. Hannah and Jean Smart are just so perfectly matched, and it's amazing. And the spoilers, if you haven't watched it, just stop listening now because the ending was amazing. They record the special. It's a hit. And all these networks that didn't want anything to do with it before are like, oh, we want to get behind that and air it on our network. And blah. She's like, these people didn't want me till, they're making this whole decision now that it's
they had to self-fund it because they attempted to get funding before, and all those networks said no.
Didn't she go on? She went on like QVC-ish type of thing and sold DVDs. And they're like, here's someone's still out selling the DVDs. And
DVD covers.
She self-sold, self-financed, and it worked, and she's a big deal. And Ava is in demand, and Deborah's watching Ava and just like giving her. And Ava refused to take writing credit for the special, and Deborah's watching as these people who originally didn't want much to do with Ava are like, "Oh, that was fantastic!" And now she's like the hot commodity, and so of course, Deborah's a big-hearted person and has grown to really care for Ava. She says, I'm firing you. And saying, you're just like me. I'm not holding you back. It's like Deborah's taking this person that helped her get to this career resurgence and saying, I care more about you hitting it while it's hot and don't be held down by me. And Ava's like, I don't want to leave you. And it's some great lines as far as like, I don't even remember how it came up. She's like, don't make me do math while I'm crying. I don't remember. And says, no, I'm firing you because I'm not going to hold you. It's comfortable. We're great together, but you're never going to know what you could be if you just stay with this. And it was heartbreaking. I was like, okay, I'm devastated, but I'd rather this than like Deborah's special flops. And it's like, I'm glad she's successful.
100%.
And then the end where Ava is sitting there talking on the phone, like with an agent, like some pilot, she'd gone to work on a pilot, do some script, whatever they do, like
Punch ups.
Yeah, some punch ups.
And it's going to series. And so she's going to be able to have a gig and it's actually going well. She's got her own place. Oh, and then there's the girl who was subletting her apartment calls her over to fix something. And then they end up, of course, having sex. The next day, the girl's like, yeah, you should go now.
That was weird.
The
That
tenant.
was a interesting choice to make her be such a bitch the next day.
Right.
Yeah, what was the point of that storyline?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Maybe I don't know either, but it was,
I
it
don't
was
really
funny
know.
enough. Like, but so now Ava's got her own place and she's kind of settling in. And then she's talking to the agent and it's like, Goodbye Stranger starts coming on. I love that song. I'm like, oh yeah. And then she walks to the window, it pans to the TV and she's watching Deborah on her infomercial or like QVC show. So she's doing well, but it's like, I miss Deborah and I'm watching her selling stuff on TV. It's like, Goodbye Stranger. And I'm like, oh my God. And it just worked its way right into my heart.
And leading up to that, that's the phone call where Jimmy tells her that Deborah has dropped the lawsuit.
Yes.
Jimmy's like, isn't that great? She decided to drop it. And Ava goes, oh, so I won't get to see her in court next week. And so, even though it's this terrible situation, she's still looking forward to seeing her at least. It was going to happen. That was her one thing that still kind of kept them together. And
yeah, she's like, you'll see me in court.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
oh, okay. I mean, look, she could jump on a plane and fly to Vegas and watch, go to the show and hang. Like,
Yeah.
they're not, they're never going to see each other again. Because season 3, they got picked up, baby. It's coming back. And they got a ton of Emmy nominations.
Yeah, they did.
Nice.
17 nominations.
No offense to all you
Wow.
other actresses. Get out of Jean Smart's way. This is her world. We're just
Please.
living in it right now.
She has to win.
Did she win last year?
Yes, easily.
She did.
Okay. Well, I don't know if it was easily, but she did win.
She must win again.
I mean, come on.
I think one of the favorite parts of the season for me, if you watch both seasons, Ava kind of had somewhat of a meltdown that really led her to not be able to get any more work in LA.
Right.
And her agent Jimmy was almost like, this is your last resort, is to go to Vegas and work for this lady. Right.
Yeah.
And one of the people that she really took the brunt of this meltdown was her once friend, who is now a director, and basically didn't ask Ava to help on some stuff and basically, said, well, you've got some issues you need to work out. You're not reliable. And then she had an even bigger meltdown with her. So in season 2, it's kind of a nice arc that, we've got to see Ava kind of grow up a little bit, become a little less narcissistic, kind of learn some lessons. And so, the last few episodes, she just has a run-in with this same person and has a very genuine, well done apology, because it kind of starts out essentially saying, oh, it's so good to see you again. You can tell this person's kind of uncomfortable, like, oh, great. Is this person going to flip out on me again?
Right.
And it kind of goes to, I just want to apologize. I was totally out of line for this, this, and this. And then, that person says, yeah, okay, it's fine. It's fine. Just trying to get out of there. And it could have just kind of ended there or been more superficial. But then I like that Ava took it a step further and said, no, it's not fine. I want you to know that I had issues I needed to work out and, get
I fucked up.
So yeah, it was nice that she acknowledged that. And then it kind of helped pave the way for them to hang out again. That's how Ava reconnects with her ex at the whatever party. Right. And this person ends up giving her that second chance to go and do the punch ups on this project she's working on. So it's kind of a nice full circle moment that, she gets another try at that with that person that she embarrassed herself with so royally. In those first few episodes. It was kind of cringeworthy, how she acted. So And we got to see Ava, be just a little more together,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
She
and
grew
so you
up this season.
yeah. So that was nice. And I like that they made sure to put that a very genuine well thought out apology,
If if there was only 2 seasons of the show, this is the perfect ending.
Yeah.
Right? They grow to need each other and love and respect each other, and Ava gets that redemption that you're talking about, Tara, of because no one wanted anything to do with her at the beginning of the show, and now she's kind of it, and Deborah was at her lowest, it seems like, at the beginning of the season. And so no, it's great. The show could have been this would have been the perfect ending of this 2-season show. Solid.
Mm-hmm.
So getting another season is great, but it's like, well, and what's it gonna be about?
And the creators said that they had an ending in mind, and this wasn't it. So they had more seasons planned, and that this was definitely in the plan, but not the full ending. And they kind of said the same thing. If it ends here, that's fine, but this is not the ending we ultimately planned.
Okay, good.
So hopefully there'll be a creative way that they, put the gang back together.
Yes, for sure.
Well, let me point out, I think what probably the scariest moment of the whole season.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Her assistant Marcus had some emotional things to go through himself, dealing with the breakup and being on I believe he's on some drugs and just not doing too well.
Mm-hmm.
And he decides he gets a puppy.
Oh no!
And he gets home and the puppy has gotten into, I forget what he'd gotten into.
Adderall or something?
Adderall?
I don't know. Something.
And I'm like,
bad.
I swear to God, if this puppy dies. And he rushes it to the vet. And I'm like, for Tara's sake and all of ours, please don't let the dog die. But the dog was okay. And I think the vet even said, like, I don't think you should be having a dog right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think his mom took it in or something. But I was like, okay. I'm glad they treated that with some dude, you need to get your act together before you take care of a little puppy.
And that was his lowest point.
Yeah. And then he kind of comes back.
You warned us about that moment.
Did I?
You had gone through the season, and you, on this podcast, you said, okay, just so you know, this will make sense.
Yes.
Don't worry. It's going to be okay.
That's
and so
right.
as soon as he came home from the club and he said, Joe? I was like, oh, this is the moment Wendy was telling me about. It's going to be okay. And it was okay. So thank you, Wendy. I appreciate that heads up.
Well, it was scary.
A very helpful site called, what is it? Does the dog die?
Does
or
the
something
dog
like
die?
that? Yeah. It's valid site for,
you can't kill the dog. Don't kill the dog.
It's not necessary.
I like dark, but don't go that dark. I don't like it.
No.
But yeah, so Hacks. I grew to love this show even more.
It's so solid. Like every episode is solid. The season, the arcs, both seasons, the arcs were solid. Just a great show, and we don't have a premiere date, but they're speculating for season 3 will sometime during spring of 2023. Yeah. So,
okay, well, we've
just
got things
corner
to watch in the meantime. So, hey, it's a lot quicker than Westworld, which is now back with season 4. But you know what? It's been pretty good this season. So there's that. But I don't even remember what it was on last because it was 80 years ago. So,
and we'll talk about the Emmys. We'll try to do a pre-awards show. We'll get into some of the nominations, but I think I will definitely be. I mean, it's a tough category, but I think we'll all be rooting for Jean Smart to win again.
The only other one that I wouldn't mind winning is Kaylee Cuoco, but not against Jean Smart. No offense, Kaylee. I mean, you're great, and I really do like her a lot, but
she's no Jean Smart.
Nobody is. But she is really good. But Jean Smart has earned that status of just get out of my way.
100%.
I will win all the things. It's Rachel Brosnahan's. She's won a lot, hadn't she?
Yeah, she's won.
She's won a couple times.
Yeah, they're all fine. But it's Jean Smart.
They're fine.
They're all fine. They're all good. They're all talented.
Yes. Great company to be in, but they're no Jean Smart.
Nope. September 12th for the Emmys. So.
Oh, all right.
Well, very good timing because we record on Sunday and then it comes out on Tuesday. So the Emmys are on Monday. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll catch up later. So we'll preview it and you'll listen to our preview after it's aired. Anyway, but that's in the future.
It's gonna be fun.
All right. But for now, how about checking us out on our Twitter?
Hey.
You know what I mean? We use our Twitter as pheromones to attract.
Oh my
Called
goodness.
We
Twitty.
rub the Twitter
the
all
Twitter
over
on us.
our bodies.
Is it like snopping or is it snubbing?
Snopping.
I
That's
don't
a
know.
thing.
We'll work on that.
I don't either. At Snot Podcast with 1D.
Or Facebook and Instagram at She Nerds Out Podcast.
You can send us an email at shenerdsout.com. No? Send us an email to shenerdsout@gmail.com. But if you go to shenerdsout.com, you can send us a message, leave us a voice message, buy us a beer, buy some merch. It is one stop snopping.
What? Stop snopping. All right. Well, I got to go feed some kids and go to bed. So
All right, let's do it.
we'll reconnect after San Diego Comic Con. And Tara's like highlight of her life. We just got to make that happen. What'd you
That's
call
what
it?
Tara,
You're gonna
that's
have,
what you
You
said.
said something to that.
Oh,
effect.
yeah. The highlight of my life.
Or one of
You
them.
looked so confused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to live up to it.
You better be good because that's a hell of a build up.
All right.
Okay. Well, till we find out what that means. She nerds out.
Out.
She nerds out. We're girls that like girls that like nerdy things. Nerdy things.
All right, let me get him. Are you gonna sit down? Down. Sit down right there. Right there. Okay. All right. He's gonna be a good boy now. No.
Is he?
Ah. It's a lot. Okay. All right. Just shove him down and he lies there like, oh, I'm gonna lie there. And then as soon as I move my hand, he's like, okay, I told you. Okay, I'll make it work. He's down now. He's a good boy.
Perfect.
No, stop. Jeez. Stay over there. He wants to be right in. No,
Of course he does.
you're close enough.